Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is Dweebovision 300. To mark the occasion, I am delighted to be playing against Brett Smitheram, one of the best players in the world. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's Brett to go first. I do not have a bingo. I've got voice and voicer, which should sort the rack out. But do I have an 8 through any of these floaters? Can't see anything through the G. The L looks promising, but I can't see anything through that. I've got the over prefix, but double IC doesn't go well with that. And I've also got the IC suffix. Can't see anything through the I or the F. Now, what about the T? I've got the I, the E ending. Okay, well, I can't see anything. And if I play voice in column 6, I'm keeping 2 I's, which isn't good. Do I have a double-double in column 5? Well, not that I can see. So, how to resolve this rack? There are quite a few bingo-y tiles on this rack. But I need to get rid of the V and one of the I's. I hope I haven't overlooked a bingo here. Now, what about playing through that L just as a single double play? Well, I guess what would leave the best rack leave is viol. It's not going to score very much. Viol for 14. Great, I draw the first blank. And this looks fairly good. I have Oriency. That plays in row I. Underneath the T of Glypht. Glypht, I think, takes an S at the end. Now, do I have an alternative bingo in case that's blocked? I've blocked Synergic in column 4 with viol. Do I have anything beginning with the V in row E? I think Vicenery is good. That would get doubled, which is more than Oriency achieves. I have a slight doubt about Vicenery, but not enough to not play it. Now, what about column 8? Beginning or ending with the T, that would be a triple word play. The Y is likely to feature at the beginning or end of a word. So, do I have something beginning with the T and ending with that Y? I have the tri prefix. Tri-scenery, not good. I'm just going to run through the alphabet while Brett is thinking about his move, and I'm focusing really on column 8. Haven't seen anything yet which goes through the T. This would give me the ing ending. That looks promising, but I can't see anything. That's my Oriency play. Okay, Brett's disconnected. Hopefully he'll be back in a moment. Great, and Brett is back just in time to avoid the game being adjudicated. Now Vicenary has been blocked, and so has Oriency. Do I have a bingo through any of these floaters? Now, I'm wondering if Dynamite takes an R. If it does, Oriency plays in row J. And I think that is worth trying. And not just because it might be good. I will have studied this hooks, and I think it is good. The play doesn't get doubled, but I do benefit from all the high-scoring tiles in Dynamite. 78 points. Not a great rack. Let's see if this stays on first. If it does, I've only got one vowel and 3 high-scoring tiles in the P, M and W. So I'll be looking around at vowels on the board to try and play off 2 or 3 of the high-scoring tiles, particularly the W, as that's the least bingo-y. So through an I would have Wimple, but there's no available I. There's a double-double column in column 11 through the N of Oriency. Plew is good, P-L-E-W. Wow, great back-to-back bingos from Brett, and I'm not in a position to reply in kind. Brett now has a 60-point lead. Column 11 is more available now for a double-double. So my E would need to go in between the A and the N. But that's not looking likely. I don't really have anything which goes after the N of Oriency. I can't really take advantage. Ah, well, I was going to say I can't take advantage of the T of Marabout, but I can play Twerp. That plays off 2 of the high-scoring tiles, including the problem W tile. Not a great rack leave, but 30 points is a good score. Well, that could have been worse, having kept 3 consonants. I draw 2 vowels, and I've got a scoring tile in the X. I'm looking around to see if there are any premium squares next to vowels where my X could play. I think the only one is the O of Marabout. So I could play Knox in row G. That would sort out the duplicate N. Now, do I have a double-double in column 11? I don't. I do have Zoana as a single double. That doesn't score as much as Knox. Now, what about column 13? The Y of Oriency. Is Xylon good? X-Y-L-O-N or X-Y-L-A-N? Very tempting. I'm not sure of either of them, which is annoying. I do have Xyloma in column 13, which I'm sure of. That retains 2 N's, but it does score well. And there are only 2 N's unseen, so it's not a disaster keeping 2 of them. I have Lanx in row K and Ox, but that's not going to score as much as some of the other options I've considered. Through a G, I would have Magnox. G of Glyph not available. And through an E, I would have Annex. Now I'm wondering about column 13, if I have a play through the O of Marabout ending OX. Can't see one. Brett's taking a while with his move. I'm wondering if he's about to play a third back-to-back bingo. I'm 30 points behind at the moment. I've got the man suffix, but I can't see a way of using the X with that, and it is a priority to play off the X at the moment because there's no massive score without it. 36 points, that takes out my xyloma spot. My Nox spot is still available, and that's good because I am sorting out the duplicate N and I'm scoring well. Rackleave isn't too bad, retaining a vowel to go with the consonants. So Nox 41 points. Hythe, I think, just takes an S at the end. Just pausing in case I've got to play through one of the tiles in Hythe, but I don't think I have. So I will go with this. Oh, not a good pickup. All consonants, including duplicate T and a duplication of my existing N. That's really disappointing. Now, I can play man above Nox. 39 points for Brett. He's piling on the points. So this isn't bad enough to change. I can play man across here. Ox also takes an L in front, but I would like to sort out the duplicate N. It would be good to sort out the duplicate T. Can't see a way of doing that. Well, I could play tan instead of man. 35 points for man. $27 for tan. I think I prefer the extra points. Now, am I missing something much better? Brett's play of Frizz hasn't opened up anything for me. So this could work out badly for me if I draw badly, but if I draw very well, 2 or 3 vowels, then it could be fine. I just can't see anything better in this spot. Well, not good. No vowels at all. I do have the S. So I'm either changing with this rack or I'm playing through a vowel on the board. And the E of Hythe is not in a great position because I'm not going to get doubled. My C goes well with the H of Hythe, the second H, but I really need a vowel to utilise that spot. I could play Cly, where Brett's just played Squally. Now, can I use his U? This may be a good time to change. I could play Lint in column 9 and L. 8 points with a pretty good Rackleave. In fact, that is going to be better than changing. It'd be nice to play through that U of Squally with my C at A4. Just can't see a way of doing that. I'm now 70 points behind, so I'm a bingo behind. This is what I'm thinking about doing. Rackleave is good. This keeps the board open. It does obstruct the E of Hythe, but I'm providing an additional bingo lane for 7-letter bingos ending in S in row M, which is good, given that I have an S and I need a bingo. Now, have I overlooked a better spot? And I'm also looking to play off three consonants. With 7 consonants, it's no good just playing off 2 because there's too high a danger that you'll just replace them with 2 more consonants. So, for example, playing in column 9, 2 tiles here doesn't work. Okay, I'm going with this. Let's see if I can find some vowels. And as you can see at the bottom, there are plenty of them unplayed. I draw 1. So this isn't a great rack. I'm looking to see if I can play through the second H of Hythe. And I can play torch through the T of lint, keeping RSST. Only 20 points. There's still a blank out there. I certainly don't have a 7-letter bingo, and if I did have an 8, it would be through a vowel, and there are no available vowels apart from the E of Hythe, which is a possibility because lint does take an S. So what would my rack be with an E? Well, I can't see a bingo with an E, so at the moment torch is what I'm looking at. Not a great rack leave. Well, I've got crossed in row N, CROST and Hythes. That's going to score well. It's not going to obstruct row M as a bingo lane for an S, and it stays available. Fantastic. And only 22 points for Brett. He's slowing up. Superb. So, crossed 41 points. Fantastic. Not a good pickup. Plenty of good tiles in the bag, but not on my rack. So to sort this rack out, I'm looking to play off the V, one of the Ds. I'm 43 points behind at the moment. D and G don't go well together, so it would be good to play off D, G and V, or V and 2 Ds, and I think that's going to be really hard. I could play drug at A4 down. Nice bingo from Brett, and there goes the second blank. So I'm now 100 points behind, 16 tiles in the bag. Column 1 is quite hot, but I think I will leave it available since I am behind. So drug is what I'm thinking of down here. The V isn't a disastrous tile, it goes well with the I. And if I draw one of these E's, that's going to be a fairly good 5-letter set. What's not good about drug is its miserable score, only 16 points. So would I be better off playing Gerd down here? 31 points, an extra 15 points, and I'm burning the I. 9 minutes left. Well, the trouble with drug is it doesn't score very much. It is not opening up any bingo lanes, and it's leaving available a really good hotspot in column 1. And also I'm over 100 points behind, so scoring only 16 doesn't really help, because unless I'm scoring well on my non-bingo moves, a bingo isn't going to be enough to enable me to catch up. So I think I will play Gerd. 31 points. Pretty good. A whole bunch of vowels. I've got the UV combo, which isn't good. And only 12 tiles in the bag. So I'm not in great shape. But the game isn't over yet. So what I'm looking to do with this rack, and, well, I don't have a bingo, which is always one's first thought. I'm looking to play off the V, or preferably the V and the U. I haven't seen anywhere great for the V. I note that it can play in column 3 next to RE in row J. So I could play Void and Rev, but that is retaining the U. I note that I have an I for going underneath the Q of Squally. So maybe in a future go I can play a 4-letter play beginning at D1 with a high scoring tile at D1, followed by UI something. Not available with this rack. Now UVA and VAU are both good. I could play Devo in row B. But that is taking out a bingo lane. Only 24 points for Brett. He obviously played with ease. And he's taken out the 7-letter bingo lane ending in S, but he has provided an E, which, given that I haven't got one, could be helpful. 8 minutes left. The trouble with playing Devo across here is that I'm not opening up a new bingo lane because nothing goes above or below the V. Can't see a way of placing my V at A4 without using the S. So, what to do? I think I do need to play off the V. Can't see any merit in retaining it. I'm thinking about playing Void down here. It obstructs one of the E's of épée, but not the bottom one. Rack leave's pretty awful. Especially with all the vowels. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 vowels out of 15 tiles. There's only 5 consonants left. And I'm retaining 2 vowels with this rack, so this is just an invitation to be played with vowels. So can I play a Void somewhere? This is a tricky spot. Given the shortage of vowels, it's not a disaster keeping the V, but it's not a particularly bingo-y tile. I'm 99 points behind, so even with a bingo, I'm probably going to lose. Well, I'm thinking about playing Devo across here. It just keeps one more consonant. 8 tiles in the bag. I'm looking around for any play, regardless of score, that leaves a decent rack leave. And I'm struggling to see one. Well, what about a Void across here? It plays off one more vowel, an A. $20 points, so this is going to put me on 298. 79 points behind. It's keeping open this bingo lane. It's keeping open these floating E's in épée. Well, it's the best I've seen. Not great. There's certainly not a bingo with this rack. Only 3 tiles in the bag. I have a scoring tile in the K, but it was the bingo I was looking for. But given the huge excess of vowels in the bag, it was unlikely that I would have a bingo with this rack. So what can I do with my K? I'm looking around for vowels, but I can't see anywhere great for the K. I could play Juker in row B, but that's only scoring about 20 points. It would be nice to get about 40 with the K. But I think this game is lost. 26 points. J takes an A and an O underneath it. So, but I don't think I have a 6-letter play on my rack. There's one tile in the bag, probably a vowel. I can see the remaining tiles at the bottom of the screen. I don't think there's any point in playing off just one tile because I cannot conceive of any bingo that I would have. So I'm looking to play off, well, 4 or 5 tiles to give myself a chance of going out next go. I have 4 minutes left on the clock. Abo and Knox at the top right, don't take anything in front of them. I don't think Dowk is good with a K. That would have played in column 4. 3 minutes left on the clock. So, what am I going to do, apart from lose? Can I take advantage of the A? I think I'm going to play around this J because I'm going to get the score from it. So I can either play something in row O or something down column 5. So I could play Koa. £21 points. And I can see Brett's rack, he has 6 vowels, that's pretty grim. And I'm looking at my rack to see if I can go out in 1, and I think that's going to be difficult. Jar takes nothing in front of it, and K takes nothing in front of it, so the bottom left of the board is pretty killed. Nothing goes, well, no 2-letter plays with the V of avoid. So a really blocked board. I don't have a 5-letter word on my rack, and not many floaters to consider. I could play God in column 1 alongside Subatize. 19 points. I can't see anywhere great for my S. Brett's got 6 minutes left. He will be looking for the best 2 move out. So the best I've seen at the moment is God. Do I have an alternative if that is blocked? Well, I could play Vug in column 4 through the V of avoid. 14 points. Pretty meagre pickings, but I don't think much is available on this board as it stands. I could play Sug in row L, making Girds and Ag. 16 points. 4 minutes left for Brett. Now, do I have a play in column 3, playing alongside the bottom tiles in Subatize? So, Reg and Red are both good. So, I could play Gaud, G-A-U-D. That's 9 points for Brett. He's got Tau and Toa, Tau and Oat on his rack, so he can play Tau across here or Dote. Does he have an alternative out? He does. He has Oat down here. So this is my final rack. Is takes an O after it. Let me see what Gaud's scores. 18 points. I think that's the best I can do. Now Brett has got Oat in column 1. Maybe I should have played God there to block that. It won't affect the result. 13 points for Oat in column 1. Yeah. Okay, pass to end the game. And the final score, 337 to me, 427 to Brett, a winning margin of 90 points. Well done to Brett. Let's see what we missed. So, this was Brett's opening rack. And he played Glyph, which looks fine. Yep. And this was my rack. Did I have a bingo here? No, I did not. I could have played civil in column 5, keeping EOR. Although I got 6 points less for viol, my rack leave is a lot better. So probably not much between those plays. Dynamite, good spot by Brett. And this was my rack. I found Orion C for 78. I could have got 10 more points for decrying across here. Yep, that would have been good. And there's also Cyprine, Cindery, Glycerin, and Cylinder. But decrying was the play. Now this rack looks unpromising, so fabulous spot by Brett of Marabout. And this was a grim rack for me. I played twerp for 30. I could have got the same score for replow at B13 down here. That would have been pretty good. MN is a much better rack leave than LMN. This was Brett's rack. Hyde was his play, and that looks best. This was me. I played Knox for 41, and I could have got, well, 45 in the same spot. Only a 4-point difference. The duplicate tile you generally reckon to be worth about 5 points, so I prefer Knox. Well, here it is here in third spot. I think that is the best play. This was Brett's rack, pretty awful. He played through it with Frizz for 39. He could have got 3 more points and dumped the Q by playing Quiz at F3 across here. Okay, but the Q with the U is a good combination, so I think Frizz is a better play. This was my rack. I can see now that I have Mant let through the E, but that doesn't score very much. E11 man. That was my play. This was Brett's rack. He played Squally for 40. And that looks fine. Souk N13. Yeah, that's not great. Now here, this is where I played Lint for not very much. And there wasn't very much available. I could have played Tinct down here. Probably slightly better, keeping 3 consonants rather than 4. But not a huge amount in that. Now, what did Brett have with this rack? No bingo. And he played When for 22. That looks fine. And this was my rack. And I played Crossed for 41. That looks best. Brett's rack. Great spot. The only playable bingo. Subitize. And here I was in a dilemma as to whether to leave column 1 open or not. I took the view that I was over 100 points behind and I needed to keep scoring, and the only way to do that was by playing in column 1. And I played Gerd for 31. That looks fine. So there were all the E's, 5 of them on, 5 out of the 6 remaining E's on Brett's rack. Epee for 24 looks best. And this was my rack. I was 100 points behind and I really needed a bingo. There were 8 tiles in the bag. I couldn't see a bingo with this rack. And after a long time I played a void. And that looks best. Given the huge number of vowels that were left, I think keeping only 1 vowel as opposed to 2 is significant. This is Brett's rack. He drew the final E. And he played G in row N. That looks fine. This was my rack. 1 tile in the bag. It didn't make sense to me to fish for a bingo. Vodka for 28. That would have been a better play than mine. Dauk was good at A4 with the K. What did I do? I played Koa for 21. Yeah, Vodka's better, but there's not a huge amount between them, and the game was lost. This was Brett's rack. He played Ane to give himself a chance of going out in 2. You can see from all of the rack leaves here that very few of them will allow an out in 2, so Ane is certainly better than those options. And this was my rack. And God at D1 probably better. I played Gourds for 18, but I think God would have been better because it would have blocked Brett's higher scoring out. So I played Gourds, and, well, Oat at D1 did score 13, but so did Oat at M2 down here. Well, that was only available because I played Gourds. If I'd played God, then Brett would have been stuck with Dato. Yeah, across here. So certainly I should have played God. And that was the end of the game. So final score 337-427. A good win by Brett and some excellent bingo spottings with Marabout and Subitize. So well done once again to Brett, and my thanks to him for helping to mark the occasion of the 300th Dweebovision video. I hope you've enjoyed watching this series of videos, which will continue, and if you like the videos, please subscribe to the channel or click like or leave comments below the videos. So I hope you are enjoying this series of videos and getting something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been the 300th video for Dweebovision.